INEOS made a massive statement by bringing Omar Barada into Manchester United from the City Group, and there was a lot of promise around that, with Omar Barada having this 2-year rule. If you've not been good enough in 2 years, you're sold. Omar Barada talking about a transfer approach of young players that they want to develop and turn into superstars, as well as buying players in their prime and then keeping a few experienced players there, developing them and bringing through youth into the squad, which is what happened under Sir Alex Ferguson, which is what happened under David Gill. There's been some promise from INEOS, and Omar Barada coming in as a statement. The next director of football coming in could be a massive statement because nobody knows who it is. Dan Ashworth's a massive statement. Someone good that we've not been linked to is a big statement as well. But a bit of a shocking statement coming out is reports that INEOS's plan is to target players with 1 year left on their contract because there's not going to be much money available in the summer. And this has got people reacting and being reactionary and people saying, well, what are we doing? What are we doing? But I'm going to deep dive into this report and actually just say, let's not overreact. Let's actually think about it. And then I will be getting into some other stories that have come out on Ten Hag's future, INEOS's plan, Varane exit, what David Gill said on the takeover, and a few interesting things on the sporting director. So loads to get through in today's video. So please do hit the like button and of course subscribe down below if you're new. But it was said that Manchester United are targeting players who are entering the final year of their contract this summer as part of a rebuild under Sir Jim Ratcliffe. And despite what Manchester United considered a positive January window, finances remain tight and targeting players approaching the end of their contract is viewed as a good way of managing the summer spend. United are exploring a number of deals ahead of this summer with players like Joshua Kimmich, Jonathan David, Thuram and Alphonso Davies all set to be out of contract in 2025. So let me dive into this report. Let me dive into this information. First of all, every single year, Manchester United put out that the summer budget's going to be tight. The summer budget's going to be tight. I remember Ten Hag's first season, we were claiming we had no money, the budget was going to be tight, and we spent a load of money on Casemiro and Antony. United do that as a negotiation tactic every year. They pretend they have no money. Second of all, people are reacting to this report, oh, that's silly, you're going to be buying players with 1 year left on their contract that nobody wants. There's some good players with 1 year left on their contract, but I'm not even going to get into that yet. This is a report that's coming off about INEOS's plans for the summer in February. We haven't got a director of football in. We haven't got a recruitment person in. Ten Hag's decision on Ten Hag's future has not been made yet. I don't think that Rob Dawson seriously knows what INEOS's transfer plan is going to be in the summer. So I think you also have to take this report with a massive pinch of salt. How do we know that's INEOS transfer plan in the summer? How INEOS are focusing on so many things. I don't think they've really thought about transfers. Maybe they thought we've got to spend money wisely, but at the end of the day, you know, I don't think their plan is to go for players with 1 year left on their contract. Mason Mount had 1 year left on his contract, and I feel like we could have just waited a year. I think Thuram, Davies, David, Kimmich, all good players with 1 year left on their contract. Fofana, who we've been linked to, has 1 year left on his contract, and I think there are some good players with 1 year left on their contract, and I don't mind just going for certain players with 1 year left on their contract, as long as that isn't the strategy. But I just think, well, if finances are tight, then INEOS need to sit there and focus on selling. Antony out, Lindelof out, Sancho out, McTominay out, Maguire out. Sell those players. You know, if you sell Greenwood, you sell Mejbri, you could maybe get 50 million for the two of them. That's pure FFP profit, which is going to give you so much leeway. Sell those players. I mean, even Amad Diallo, if we're not going to play him, we could probably get a bit of money for him, but I don't want to sell Amad Diallo. I've made it very clear. I'd sell Antony, keep the youth, play the youth, give them a chance. But, you know, maybe if finances are tight, INEOS are going to have to sell. I don't mind the odd player with 1 year left on their contract if they're a good player and they fit the team. But I also think people are reacting to this, acting like it's so negative. Yeah, some of these aren't the most amazing names, but we don't know what the plan is. Nobody knows what the plan is. And, let's be honest, we'll find out nearer the window. I think for me, and the point of this video is that INEOS are going to have to make a big statement in the summer. We are going to be judging what INEOS do in the summer because this isn't Qatar. This isn't a full takeover. The Glazers are still here. There is that. I've been really positive and I'm trying to sort of, be positive around INEOS and everything at Manchester United at the moment. But they've got to prove a point in the summer because it's not the full takeover that everyone wanted. I think Omar Barada coming is a good start. If Dan Ashworth comes in brilliant, I think they're having a good start. Jim Ratcliffe showing a lot of interest in Man United, having a good start. But I think the summer is a time to make a statement. And I think they might have to sell if the finances aren't great. It was also said by Rob Dawson that Sir Jim Ratcliffe and his INEOS team are hoping to appoint a new director of football at Manchester United in the coming weeks, but planning for the summer window has already started. Confirmation of Ratcliffe's 25% stake is expected mid-February. That should be done, bish, bash, bosh. And then the Muppeteers also said that Ratcliffe and Rob Nevin were present in Manchester on Monday as key members of the INEOS group to be highly visible around the club. Their presence has been seen as positive. The one thing I have to say about Ratcliffe is so far has really impressed me. Being involved in the club, being a presence, being around, speaking to people, something the Glazers haven't done, sort of honouring Munich obviously coming up now. all of this stuff, hiring a proper director of football, speaking to Ten Hag, showing an interest in United, saying things like, we need to address the performance gap. He's, not sucked up to, he sucked up to the Glazers to get United over Qatar. But what I mean is, he's not going, Man United's been run great. He's literally happily saying Man United's been run poorly. We need to address the performance gap. What we were doing the last few years is not acceptable. He's been saying that. There are a lot of positives around Ratcliffe, and I think for me, as things are going good. Hopefully we get a good sporting director in, and hopefully we have a good summer window. But a lot of people have been saying, well, what is Ratcliffe going to do with Ten Hag? What are INEOS going to do with Ten Hag? And this was said by Samuel Luckhurst, which was very similar to information that I had heard. It was said that senior sources at Manchester United believe Erik Ten Hag has made good on his private and public proclaims that the team would improve with his strongest 11. Manchester United officials view Erik Ten Hag's tenure as a 3-year group project. Through sources, those sources admit they remain in the dark over the Inos Group's plan for structural changes. So what this means is, and I've basically heard things similar, is basically those who are currently at United rate Erik Ten Hag. They want to give him a third season because they know the problem goes beyond the manager, and they know when he has the full squad available, he plays well. When he has Martinez, when he has Casemiro available, we're playing well. They saw what he did last season, and they've seen that we've had 2 games with a stronger squad, and we've been looking good again this season. So those at United do back Ten Hag. The thing is, those at United don't know what Ineos' plans is. Going back to Rob Dawson's article saying that, Ineos are going to shock everyone and only bring in players with 1 year left of their contract, and that's going to be the transfer strategy and approach. How do you know that when those at United don't even know what Ineos want to do? Those at United don't even know what Ineos wants to do at Ten Hag. It is viewed that Ten Hag has the strongest 11, Ten Hag will succeed, those at the club currently back him. But nobody knows what Ineos' actual plan for Ten Hag is, which I think is why you have to take every single transfer report and general report that comes out around everything with a pinch of salt. 1 year left on the contract isn't the best transfer approach, it is a very Man United approach. If we're buying someone 1 year left on their contract because they're actually good and they're in the plan, all for it, for Fana. There are some good players, but if we're going for 30-year-olds that no one wants, absolutely wrong approach in the transfer window. David Gill was actually interviewed and spoke about Ineos, and he said that he doesn't know David Brailsford much. He said he's met him a few times, but I know Jean-Claude Blanc. He's an experienced manager in the world of football and knows what works and what doesn't work. It's positive having them both. David Gill says, I think there will be good moves, and I think there will be a lot of very good people in Manchester United. It's not like you have to get rid of all these people. They just need a new direction and a new motivation. Personally disagree. I think there are some good people in United. McKenna, who left, and I think good people are gone. I think at the top of the club, the Glazers, none of them are good people. Ineos need to eventually remove them. The Glazers, adios, go. I think at the end of the day, I think Murta was good until he got over promoted into this role that he's been awful at. So you either demote him or he goes. Arnold is gone. For me, Fletcher, demote him or he goes. I think we need those at the top of the club need an overhaul. But David Gill was very positive when he went on Rio Ferdinand's podcast and said, look, Ineos are bringing in good people, good direction, all of that. And he did speak very positive of this. For me, I do think that we're on the right track. Things are positive right now. I think the summer will be telling the director of football what we do in the summer. The approach we have is going to be really telling. I'm really impressed by the Omar Barada transfer, but I think this year, this is going to be a statement from Ineos. This next year, everyone's going to be judging Ineos. Obviously, it's going to take 2-3 years to see the success of what they implement in place. It's not an overnight project, but what they do in the summer will give a lot of people an indication of what is things going to be like. Are they going to go for aging players? I don't think they will. Omar Barada coming in, he's complete opposite to that approach. Jim Ratcliffe was very critical of us signing Casemiro. I don't think we're going to be going for aging players, but I do think what we do in the transfer window could be a strong statement and message sort of moving forward. Talking to transfer windows, it was said that Saudi Arabian side Al Nassr want to sign Varane and willing to offer him up to 50 million a year, and Varane is expected to leave United in the summer. I personally would keep Varane until 2025. There's players I want sold in 2024, and there's players like Casemiro and Varane that I don't mind keeping at the club for another year because I think they're decent players. All in all, what I want is the full sale of Man United soon. All in all, what I want is a good transfer window where we get rid of the deadwood, we bring some good players in, and I want to get some clarity on the director of football and who that is. For me, I think United is going in a positive direction in the sense of I think things are picking up and I think we should have a good summer. I expect to have a good summer, but you just never know at United. The Glazers are still there. The Glazers are still on the purse strings. Ineos will want to spend a bit in the summer. Ineos will have ambitious plans, but with the Glazers here, are they going to limit us to doing certain deals? I think that is going to be the big test of the summer, but it'll be interesting. Now, let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you think I'm just waffling. Subscribe down below if you're new. Share the video. Thank you for watching.